Hi, welcome to the Paper Snob. This is Tara. Today I'm working on 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life, Series 16. It is day number 10, and this sketch was created by my friend, Brianna. She is over at Love My Life on Paper for YouTube. And I think that's the same username she has on Instagram as well. So I am working on this sketch. So let me show you the sketch. This is an incredibly gorgeous sketch. I love everything about it. And I have some tag dies and these Tim Holtz dies and some more cute baby photos of my youngest child. These were taken professionally, and so I'm scrapbooking those now. I also pulled in some 49 and Market items, some stitched frames, some flowers, and some embellishments from a kit that I don't have paper for. And then I've got my Mind's Eyes Wild Asparagus collection. Back in the day, Wild Asparagus was their own scrapbook company. And I guess My Mind's Eye bought them out, or they turned into My Mind's Eye. I'm not really clear on that. But I've got my paper, got a bunch of embellishments, I've got my photos. I'm going to go ahead and pause, and we're going to get started. Brianna's sketch has a little bit of mixed media on it, and I pull out my Delusions white linen spray. And as you can see, it is not wanting to actually spray. Big surprise. So I put it aside and I grab my Mr. Huey's white spray. It's one of those that I've been trying to use up. And I just wanted to put a little bit of white paint or spray ink on the top portion of this background paper. I'm using the plaid for my background paper, and I just wanted to get some white. So I'm going to set that aside and let it dry, and we're going to move on to something else. So I did all of my die cutting off camera. I didn't figure you needed to watch me die cut anything. And I'm going to tell you, I absolutely adore the look of this Tim Holtz doily border die. They are stunning. I'm also going to tell you that they require me to vacuum every time I use them because those little pieces go everywhere. So I am inking up these. I did it with a very light craft paper, and I'm inking them up with Distress Oxide tea dye because I only want it to be subtle. And now that my background is dry, we're going to move on to the next thing. So I know that Brianna's sketch doesn't show any paper underneath the photos, but I decided that I wanted to use this craft gingham paper. It's striped on one side. I had a full 6x12 for the left side, and I think this one is 6x11 for the right hand side, and I'm just going to make it work. I initially wanted it to go all the way across both sides, but I didn't have enough, and I'm just going to make this work. So these photos I have scanned and reprinted smaller because the square photos are like 5x5, and the 4x6 photo is that the original is 5x7, and I just wanted to go ahead and scan them so that I have a digital copy of these, as well as being able to resize them. Now I'm going to resize or reprint the little feet picture and the one that doesn't currently fit because I wanted to use all of those photos that I had printed. So I'm going to reprint those into 3x4. The little feet picture ends up to be a little tiny square, and that's great and fine. And so, but I wanted to use all of those photos, and plus I have those really adorable coral stitched frames from 49 and Market that I want to get on here as well. So I'm just kind of playing around. Now, like I said, I die cut things off camera, so my tags came from that Hip Kit Club tag die, and I just used some of the pattern papers in my collection to get those cut out. That is one of my favorite die sets from HipKit. I use it probably the most often, and yes, I can cut tags on my Cameo all day long, and I actually do that occasionally, but I really love the ease of using the tag dies because it allows me to cut with scraps, and I have found that cutting with my Cameo using smaller pieces of paper is just a lot of work. So did you catch that my frames weren't matching up with my photos? I want to use these frames and I am going to make them work. So first I'm going to trim this photo down just a little bit so that I can get the frame on it. And what I have done is I have cut that frame down. It's not cut in half, I've just cut it down. And I will put the smaller piece on first, and then I will layer up the other piece as well. And I'm just putting a very thin line of glue. That is Barely Art glue with a fine tip cap from scrapperfect.com. I know that the Barely Art glue comes with its own little fine line tips. I'm gonna tell you, I hate those things with an undying passion. I love these caps, and if you ever pay attention when I'm using wet glue on a project, you will notice that all of my glues have that fine tip cap. I find that they don't clog as much, if at all, and also they work all the time. And that same cap, when I finish this bottle of glue and buy another one, I will just take it off this one and stick it on the next bottle and continue to use that. And if you ever get a tip that does clog, because it can happen if you leave it open for too long or something, you can buy just the tiny tip part that screws into the blue piece on that cap and replace that. You can also get those pieces in different sizes. So for like my Perfect Paper adhesive, I use a large tip because it is a thick glue and it definitely needs a large tip. So now that I have made these frames work out, you're going to see me do it again with this smaller frame. I'm going to cut it down and then I'm just going to layer them in, and then I will use embellishments to cover that up as much as possible. So it's not an exact science, it's not perfect, but it did allow me to use all 5 of those frames that were in that 49 Market pack, and it made me super happy with these because they're just gorgeous, and I think they really help set off my layout and my photos of my beautiful baby girl. And so now I've got everything on here kind of the way that I want it. I haven't glued everything down yet. I will, of course, glue it down. I did glue down my borders, kind of overlapping them a little bit, and I've got a piece hanging off on the right hand side that I will trim off camera. And now I'm digging into that little baggie of 49 Market embellishments that does not have paper. I don't think I ever had paper with it. I think I found this set just somewhere and couldn't find paper to match, or I'm not really sure. And some of it is fussy cut, like that wreath piece. I'm pretty sure I fussy cut that out of the packaging. So I'm going through the embellishments, kind of deciding what I would like to use. I grabbed one of those little stamp pieces with the butterfly on it. It says lovely, and I layered it up with the rest of my tags. I thought I might use that little tiny one, but I don't think it actually makes it on the layout. I don't think I liked it. And I've got all of these beautiful little butterflies. They're really small, and I'm going to use those on my layout, as well as a few of the little phrase pieces, and it'll help cover up where I made my frames work for the size of my photos. So I want to talk to you about my friend Brianna, the lady who created this sketch. First of all, this sketch is my absolute favorite so far. And it's not just because my friend made it, but because I absolutely adore this lady. She is an amazing scrapbooker. Her channel at the time of me recording this video was about 129 subscribers away from reaching 1,000. If you guys are not a subscriber to Brianna's channel, will you please click that link down in my description box and subscribe to her channel and help a gal out? She is really wanting to reach her 1,000 subscribers. It's important to all of us who have YouTube channels. That is one of the marks for allowing us to monetize our account. It will never cost you any money to watch our channels, but it does allow us to make a little bit money. And some of my friends say that they make enough money off their YouTube channels to purchase a couple of collections a year. And girls, I need help with purchasing collections. Yeah, because I don't have any paper. Ha ha. But Brianna is very close to her goal, and I would love to help her out. I have said before, there's enough room on YouTube for all of us, and I want to help my fellow creators. There are several of my friends who are super close to this goal, and I want them to get some help from y'all too. So I'm going to be adding some journaling, and I'm going to put it right there on those tags up there above the left photo on the right hand page. I have just kind of laid them out, and I'm pretty happy with where everything sits right now. All right, I got this layout done. Brianna, I want to thank you for this gorgeous sketch because I am absolutely thrilled with how this layout turned out. Off camera, I took some gold embroidery floss and I made a circle and I tucked it underneath that spot. I also added little pink pearls to my tagged holes, and I put things up on foam adhesive like the butterflies. Actually, I think that's the only place I used foam adhesive today. Got everything glued down. I love how this turned out. I got these beautiful frames put on here. It's like they were made for this paper, even though they're $49 in market, not my mind's eye. They are gorgeous. So I want to thank you for coming to my channel today. If you are new here, I would love to have you as a subscriber. Just click that button below. There's also a bell, and that will notify you when I put out new content. Right now, I'm trying to do 30 days of sketches, which means a video a day. That is not my normal. Normally, I'm doing 2 to 3, sometimes 4 videos a week, and like I said, YouTube will notify you when it posts. I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.